Today we'll talk about renting a house or an apartment here in Maryland. Renting a property here in Maryland will benefit, in most cases, both the tenant and the landlord. And here are some things to consider before renting a space or a house in Maryland. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about working, eating, sleeping, basically anything you want to know here in the Maryland or DC area, then make sure you hit the subscribe button right below. Click the little bell so you're notified every time we do a video. And if you're thinking about moving, relocating, or coming here to stay, make sure you give me a call, shoot me an email, or send me a text. In some cases, it just makes sense for you to consider renting instead of buying. Renting a space allows people to save money for a down payment on property, save some money for a certain period of time, or just simply minimize their living expenses. Just not that easy to do sometimes. The biggest benefit of you renting a home is you don't have any long-term obligations to stay there. Typical lease goes for about 1 year, but sometimes you see them for as short as 6 months or even on a month-to-month lease. This gives you as a renter or the tenant a lot of flexibility in your lifestyle. A new experience, new places to visit, new people to meet. Another advantage is that sometimes you do not need to have good credit. Now this varies a little bit because in many cases the landlords do ask for the tenants to have good credit and even run background checks on the tenant. But there's definitely more flexibility with credit when it comes to renting. This is why many young people start out renting, because they haven't established the long history and a strong credit score, while many people with low credit who want to buy a home later on see renting as a short-term opportunity while they repair their credit score and move on with their life. Here's some information about renting an apartment or a house here in Maryland. Number one, there are rules and requirements for landlords to have a rental license. A tenant should be required to follow those requirements, and they must possess a license in order to rent rooms, and this is for your safety and protection. Now let's be real, not every landlord has a rental license, and the requirements to lease a property will vary, sometimes greatly, from one property to the other, because essentially every landlord sets their own rules. Think about it, it's their house, right? Number two, rights of a tenant. Certain landlords live on the property and they can screen you up, scrutinize you further, or even intrude your room. And if you're paying the mortgage, this does not give them the right to treat you in whatever way that it's convenient for them. Only remember that you do have rights as a tenant, not only for the landlord. Number four is safety. So when you rent a place with roommates, that you're renting a room and you're gonna have other roommates you may not necessarily know, they will invite others into the house. So the landlord or the owner of the property, is only concerned about making money and does not screen or really have their tenants' best interests. Sometimes that can put you at risk if they're not really selective on who they put in there. Number five, pets. So if you have a pet, you should keep in mind that most places do not welcome them. Most landlords will not allow you to have a pet because it'll cause damage to the property, and if you actually try to have a pet inside, they will raise the rent on you, require a pet security deposit, and possibly even require recurrent rent payment just for the pet. Check to see if they accept pet and get consent before bringing a pet on the property. Number six is maintenance. Understand that the property's maintenance is not your obligation as a renter. As a renter, you're not directly liable for major home repairs. If your property needs a new water heater, a new roof, plumbing, or other home related services, those expenses are incurred by the homeowner or the landlord, not you as a tenant. Number seven is annual increase. Private landlords are less likely to raise your rent every year, whereas in an apartment complex, they oftentimes do raise your rent every year, and that can be raised anywhere from $50 to $200. It really depends. Number eight is rental receipts. Do keep your security deposit and rental payment receipts so you have a record, and you can check for what you've actually paid on the property and have documentation or proof. Sounds logical, but not everybody does it. Number eight, the rental rate. Maryland has the 8th highest rent in the country out of 56 states and territories. The rental cost, should be comparable to the market price. The landlords will charge anything they want. You must determine the expense of a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom apartment. 1-bedroom apartment in Maryland currently costs around $1,400 per month on average. Now that could be less or more depending on the area you're looking at. That's why it is only an average. The median rent in Maryland rises as the number of bedrooms and in the units rises. So studios are the cheapest of of course, to rent in Maryland, they cost about $13.65 a month, while a property with 4 bedrooms costs around $2,195 a month in average. You can learn about consumer pricing through visiting websites such as HotPads, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and many other places. It's going to help you choose which property is best suited for you. I hope you found all this information helpful. Thank you for watching, and if there's anything you guys think I forgot to include that somebody should know before moving to Maryland, please leave it down in the comment section right below this video. Don't forget, give this video a thumbs up, share and subscribe, and if you found this video useful, check out this video right here to my left, right here. That's it for now. See you at the next video.